from 1994. This is Phantasm III, Lord of the Dead. This is my number one.
I know it is. Yeah, I'm not far behind you. Number 2.
Buddy.
Yeah.
This movie's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
This movie's great. This movie does not get enough credit. So everybody who likes this franchise says 2 is the best, or they say the 1 is the best.
Yeah.
I never hear anybody say 3. I usually hear 3 and 4.
Yeah.
That's usually the reaction I get. 3 does not get the credit it deserves. No. It does the second movie tonal shift better.
I think this movie does a great job of balancing the mystery and sort of ethereal nature of the first one with the fun and camp of the second one. It's a good balance of
I agree.
The first 2 and almost gets it perfect.
Yeah, the second one goes a little too...
Yeah, it goes too far down the road. It's a little too extreme.
A little too much of a mess. The ending drags. The third one, I think the third one just gets a lot right. I have a lot of fun. It
reels itself in a little bit better. Yep.
So I just want to, before we get into the plot, I want to comment. The poster for this movie, which is the VHS tape right here, this poster kind of sucks.
Yeah.
The poster for, sadly I don't have it on the desk, but the poster for the original Phantasm's fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. The poster for part 2 is fucking awesome as well, where it's the tall man like holding the sphere, and in the reflection of the sphere is Mike and Liz.
Yep.
That's a fucking I've seen that. It's a very like iconic, cool looking poster. Yeah, Phantasm III, Lord of the Dead. It lets me down. It's a very plain poster. However, the tagline is pretty fucking awesome. We tried to warn you. If you don't get it this time, we're going to have to drill it into your head.
Yep.
That's a fucking tagline, buddy. So it redeems itself for me. Yeah, I'm okay with it. So let's get into the plot. It opens with flashbacks from Phantasm 1 and 2 with narration by Mike, and we immediately have an issue. Mike says in the flashback that Reggie saved me that time. And it shows the opening home invasion scene from Phantasm II.
Reggie saved me that time. And we've been on the run ever since.
But remember, that didn't happen. That whole sequence didn't happen. Remember? Remember the opening of 2?
Yeah.
That didn't happen. So why is he remembering that that's how that went down? Part 2 makes a whole fucking point that Mike imagined that.
Tall man. That story about me blowing up my own house because it was infested with midgets. Mike, that wasn't real. Your doctor said it was your own paranoid delusion.
Because the house didn't blow up then when Mike was 13.
Right.
The house blew up 7 years later after Mike was discharged from the mental hospital. So fuck you, Phantasm. Get your fucking lore straight and stop making things goddamn dreams, and then you wouldn't have this problem. This is where these are the issues you run into though when you start doing shit like that of like, well, that didn't happen. No, it did actually happen.
Yep.
And then the next movie, the character's like, yeah, that time that happened. It's like, but you just told us that didn't happen.
You almost can't decide yourself whether or not it did or it didn't.
And
right?
this comes to a head by the end of this fucking franchise.
Yep.
As to the Coscarelli never really figures out what he wants to actually be happening and not happening, sadly. We then get new footage following the tall man's melting death at the end of part 2. A completely new tall man, fully healed, steps out of the portal and tosses his melted corpse back through, and we get our title card. We then jump straight into new scenes that take place after the part 2 ending, with Reggie thrown from the hearse, Mike and Liz still inside. The hearse crashes and explodes. Liz is killed instantly, and her face is fucking eaten by a dwarf minion?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. I liked this character. It's ballsy to kill her off instantly. This is like Elm Street 4 where they just kill off the Elm Street 3 kids. But God, I don't know that she deserved that brutal of a death.
I have a theory on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
The actress pissed them off, so they're like, oh, we're going to have your face get eaten. Reg finds his trusty quadruple-barreled shotgun and blows away the minion. But wait, hold up. Didn't Reggie leave that behind in the mausoleum in part 2? Yeah, there actually is a shot where he clearly shoots it. Oh, it's out of ammo, and then tosses it to the side.
Hey, his car comes back to life a whole bunch of times.
I know.
Don't worry about the damn gun, right?
Hey, we're halfway through the series. I'm going to start nitpicking. Yeah. We're going to go into full overdrive on that. Reggie picks up Mike's still alive body, who was thrown out of the car crash. The pair are then surrounded by the dwarf minions, and the tall man himself appears. Desperate, Reggie pulls the pin on a grenade, which triggers a blinking red light, because that's how grenades work, and he threatens to blow them all up. The tall man backs off, but warns Reggie he'll be back. Cut to the tall man, who opens up one of the flying spheres, revealing for the first time in the series there's a miniature brain inside. Oh, that's weird. Mike is now in a coma in the hospital with Reggie watching over him. While in the coma, Mike sees his brother Jody, who, to be clear, was not present in the previous entry. He is not in the second movie at all. He's mentioned, but he's not in it. I should point out that Michael Baldwin returns as Mike this time around. So James LaGrosse has now been replaced again. Michael Baldwin, the actor who played Mike in part 1, is now the actor playing Mike again in part 3, and he plays it in 4 and 5 as well. Yep. Mike's nurse is revealed to be a minion of the tall man and tries to kill him, but Mike manages to kill her. Her body begins twitching as a sphere shoots out from her head and flies off. Mike and Reggie take off, but Mike starts seeing visions of his brother Jody, who he believes to be alive. Oh, maybe he is alive, because he then immediately appears before the two of them once again, played by actor Bill Thornbury, same actor from the first movie. Jody is some kind of energy ghost who can't maintain his form for long as he transforms into one of the spheres? The fuck? What is going on here? While in sphere form, Jody can psychically communicate with Mike. The tall man breaks up the reunion, though, showing off his new telekinetic powers and kidnapping Mike. The next day, Reggie comes to and tries to speak to the damaged Jody sphere with no success. Wasting no time, he packs up and hits the road. He ends up in a rundown town, seemingly from the tall man, where he's attacked and knocked out by a group of bandits and placed in the trunk of his muscle car. Now we're following the bandits who break into a house that has some sort of toy clown defense set up. The mastermind behind this trap is a small boy who starts kicking ass, and he kills the female bandit with a fucking hatchet to the head. Yeah. Holy shit, who is this kid? This is our new protagonist, Tim, who's like a little mastermind. He's basically Kevin McAllister if he could kill.
This is it becomes an R-rated Home Alone for a short period of time.
He's R-rated Kevin McAllister. Yep. He wastes no time disposing one of the goons with a razor-bladed frisbee and shooting the other one. Holy fuck. This kid is awesome. Yeah. This kid, Tim fucking rules. He is one of my favorite things in this movie, and his intro sequence is just perfect.
As soon as I saw that there was a kid in this movie, you can anticipate what my reaction was going to be. I'm like, oh, we're not doing this. But then he ups the ante right away. I'm like, okay. Right.
Like, oh, whoa.
Like, and keep in mind, he doesn't, I mean, we'll get into this, but just a little bit on why we're gushing a little bit about Timmy right now is that although he knows that weird stuff has happened, he hasn't been trailing the tall man for all this time. So all he really knows is some home intruders have come into my house and I'm going to murder them.
Yes.
And he does.
And he does. He kills all of them. He kills them all.
He is a child killing adults that have come into his house. Yeah.
Tim frees Reggie from the trunk and the two get to know one another. Tim reveals the tall man killed his parents and that the town is now home to bandits at day and lurkers at night. The dwarf minions have finally been named for the first time in the series.
Yep.
Not wanting to stay in town anymore, Tim joins Reggie on his mission to find Mike. Reggie stops to investigate a mausoleum where he's attacked by a flying sphere. He stops it, but is immediately attacked by 2 women. But the sphere comes back to life, killing one of the women. The sphere loops back around for a second attack, but is shot down by the resourceful Tim. The woman who survives is named Rocky, and she is just like Tim, she's another survivor of the tall man's destruction in the town. She later joins their crew when she learns they're going to kill the tall man. They continue on the tall man's path, following through the towns that he's wrecked, before ending up in the derelict town of Bolton. Jody appears in Reggie's mind and creates a portal for them to pass through into the tall man's lair where Mike is being held prisoner. And I don't know if it's like a mental prison or an actual physical prison. It's open to interpretation. They free Mike somehow, but when Reggie wakes up, there's a newly formed gate with the tall man now coming through, but Reggie's able to close it using the alien metal cylinders somehow. What follows is the entire group holding up in a giant mausoleum where they find a huge container of liquid nitrogen, which triggers a memory from Mike that the tall man doesn't like the cold. The tall man and his zombie minions show up, but our heroes fight back, leading to another rumble with the tall man.
Yep.
It's a pretty simple plot. Pretty effective plot. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to take the lead this time.
Okay.
This is my number 1. How does this movie work as a sequel? And technically it's a threequel.
Right.
Right, because it's the third entry, right? You get a ton of credit for me anytime you do a sequel that immediately takes place after the previous entry. Anytime you have the balls where you're like, no, this is like the next day. And literally this starts off and it's like, this is moments later. Right after the tall man, it's like, no, it's not a dream.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that wasn't a dream. That was actually happening. The hearse crashes. Liz is killed.
And we're going to continue on.
Yeah, and it's just like, boom, they hit the ground running. And they don't fuck around. There's no, it's great pacing right at the start where it's like, Liz is dead. The tall man slapped down the gauntlet, basically being like, you win this round, but I'm fucking coming back for you. And they set this up now where I do have an issue with them killing off Liz. I think that was a mistake. Now, you said you had a thought about why they killed her off. Why do you think they killed her off?
So one of the things that I kind of felt, especially in the first sort of 15 minutes of this, is that this was Don Coscarelli's way of kind of taking this franchise back. Because you'll remember, number 2 was heavily influenced by Universal. And that's why number 2 kind of feels, at least to me anyway, kind of like it sticks out like a sore thumb. It doesn't feel like it belongs to the rest of the franchise. And it goes beyond just the character of Mike, right? I feel like at the beginning of the 3rd movie, this is Coscarelli's way of kind of taking this one back. So he does a slow roll reveal that the character of Mike is back. And he's also removing those sort of extra elements that were included in the 2nd one to basically say, no, I'm getting rid of all that. And Liz was kind of the representation of that to me.
I agree with you. That's probably the case. I just think it was a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Because I think that Liz could have functioned the same way that Jody kind of does in this movie, where Jody's kind of like guiding Reggie towards finding the tall man.
Yep.
I think Liz could have filled that role. And I think Liz should have stuck around as like part of the group. Now they end up forming a ragtag group of misfits anyways. But there's no reason you couldn't have had one more.
No, but I do think that he wanted...
It's a bold choice.
He wanted to bring his 3 Musketeers back, right?
It's bold.
Yeah.
I like, just like the 2nd movie expanded on the lore, so does this one. This expands more. We're getting to see things that like the second one showed you the aftermath of when the tall man left a town.
Yeah.
This one shows you even more of that. We've got bandits running around.
Yeah.
That's such a cool little detail.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that probably would happen. Like these lawless, abandoned towns, the people that are still living there, they still got to live.
Like people are going to come in, realize there's no one there.
Human darkness is going to
Yeah.
take over. So that felt very believable to me that like nobody trusts anyone in these areas.
Yeah.
Like when Reggie bumps into the bandits, first thing they try to do is, oh, what can we take from Reggie? What is he? What resource? It's like Mad Max. What resources does he have?
If we
he's got a cool car, weapons. That's ours now.
If we don't neutralize him, he's going to come after us.
It's kill or be killed.
Yeah.
The towns have now turned into that.
Yeah.
And and same thing with Rocky. Rocky and her female companion. Same thing.
Yeah.
They're just when they run into Reggie, what's the first? It's like they try to mug him. It's like what? No one trusts anyone in these areas. That's believable. There is a fantastic scene with Reggie where he stops to get directions from a woman. And it's like a farmhouse.
Yep.
And there's all these children there. Do you remember who the kids are?
Isn't this the orphanage?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
They are orphaned children whose parents have now been killed by the tall man and basically have no home. That is like, that's brutal, but that's such a great little detail to put into your movie to show you the scope, the effects of what this creature, this force is doing across the country.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's a great little detail. Rocky at one point even says that the tall man has basically cleared out like a large portion of the county.
Well, that explains why everyone's checked out. I've been through 4 towns, all deserted.
Half this county has been wiped out and nobody's figured it out yet.
So, where are we headed?
East. From what I can tell, that's where he's headed.
Like that, we are now far into the like. We're so far past the first town from part 1. Tall Man is like on a warpath at this point.
And you're not just sort of if part 2 had showed us these towns like a week after the tall man had kind of come through. Now you're looking at like 2 years after. Like what does this town have to do now to move forward? They have to set up these makeshift orphanages because like what else are they going to do? Right? What are the people who still have to call this home going to have? How are they going to have to change their lives? Well, they're going to have to become like scavengers. They're going to have to,
And that brings me to my next point. This entry has my favorite characters in the whole series.
Okay.
So Reggie's my favorite character. Close second are Tim and Rocky.
Yeah.
I think these characters are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Tim first. As the resident child hater, what'd you think of Tim?
Yeah, he was as good as I could expect. I'm still never gonna give him a pass on including children in a role like this, but
he doesn't act like a kid.
Yeah,
because he's not.
Yeah. Given the tremendous uphill climb that he would have to go through to win me over, I think he did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like Tim.
Yeah.
Tim he's not a typical child character. He's not useless.
Yeah.
He's very competent. He's debatably more competent than Reggie half the time. Like he's able to like build elaborate booby traps.
Yeah.
He's able to kill like without hesitation, which just shows you like what the fuck has this kid been living in the last couple years? Like this kid has seen some shit.
Yeah.
Just you wait till I get up out of here, you son of a bitch.
There is a flashback sequence that reveals Tim's backstory, and it's fucking tragic as shit. The tall man killed his parents. So Tim witnessed the tall man collect his father's body after he died. We don't know if the father died naturally or the tall man killed him or what. And then his possessed body returns and then kills his mother while Tim has to watch all this.
Yeah.
what would that do to a kid? And to put this in perspective, I interpreted Tim as even younger than Mike in the first movie. Mike's like an early teenager. I think Tim is like 11 at oldest.
Yeah.
Maybe even like 10. Like,
I'm with you on that.
Like Tim is younger.
He's still a child.
Yeah.
Like in a lot of ways.
But he's been forced to grow up fast.
These others your family?
No. Your tall man got my family. These are just scavengers that tried to hurt me.
Yeah.
Sundown. We better get inside.
What's the rush? I thought you said the tall man had moved on.
Yeah, but he left these things. Call them lurkers. They only come out at night.
And it makes me like him so much that like what he's gone through has turned him into it's turned him into something else.
Yeah. And keep in mind, one of the things that I don't like about child actors in roles like this is that they rarely have the acting chops to pull off the
weighty material.
That's right. Because everything that you just said means that this character is pulling a lot of weight for this movie. And usually kids they struggle to be able to do that.
I think the actor pulled it off.
I think he does okay.
I forgot to write the actor's name, but
Yeah.
I would say he pulled it off.
Yeah.
I think he does a very good job with the material.
Yeah.
I like the little dynamic between him and Reggie.
Yeah.
There's kind of a little father-son dynamic because it's very clear Tim is looking for a family.
Well, I was thinking maybe I could tag along for a while.
Tim, you don't want to go where I'm going. Hell, I don't want to go there either.
Two's better than one. I can help. See?
Little kids shouldn't be playing with guns.
I ain't a kid no more, Reg.
That's what he wants. And he sees that in Reggie, and then he comes to see it even more when Rocky shows up. It's kind of like the adoptive mother and father.
And we know that Reggie lost his family, right? So
Yeah.
he's probably looking for the same thing, right?
So I think the scenes between them are really good. I just like Tim. He's a kick-ass kid that is the exact in any movie like this, the child is there to be a victim.
Yeah.
And generally gets kidnapped by the big bad. I mean, Mike gets kidnapped by the tall man. Liz gets kidnapped by the tall man. Tim does not get kidnapped by the tall man. Tim debatably saves Reggie's ass more often than not.
He's not just a plot device. He's driving the plot.
Yeah.
Right.
He's an active force. What do you think about Rocky?
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rocky fucking kicks so much ass.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's
nothing else to add to that. Yeah. So Rocky is like, she's this badass black woman wearing a leather jacket and sunglasses. And she reveals that she's former military. Mm-hmm. So that's how they explain why she's good with like combat and firearms specifically.
She can hold her own.
She can hold her own in a fight. She's also got nunchucks.
You're pretty good with those things, aren't you?
The army taught me to defend myself. These just keep people from getting too close.
Because obviously nunchucks are just the greatest thing.
Yeah, she's just a cool badass chick.
Yeah.
Like she's a cool badass character. She's not taking any shit from anybody. And I like that like her motivation for the tall man is basically just like, you fucked with my shit, I'm gonna fuck with your shit.
She's not the tendency would be to take a character like this and put them way over the top. She's not. I felt that they sort of reined her in well enough.
Yeah.
She's just capable, and she initially doesn't want to join them.
No.
Like she's like, I'm doing my own thing. I respect what you're doing.
I'm just trying to survive.
Right. But you know, in the end, she ends up joining them because, you know, their goals do align, right? She's also responsible for quite possibly the funniest moment in the entire franchise. I don't know if you caught this. So she's fighting against one of the resurrected house attackers, right? One of the women or the woman that
one of the bandits.
That's right,
Yeah, 'cause
one of
the
the
bandits get resurrected. Yeah.
And she's doing this whole thing with her nunchucks, and you could tell like she's getting ready to take on this person. Reggie gets up, steps in, just as she's swinging, she smacks Reggie in the face, knocks him back out, and it's perfect Reggie. Reggie is incapable
He's
in
Ash.
the way that
He's Ash. Yeah, he's Ash.
He's incapable the way that Rocky is totally capable.
Tim are. Yeah, they're more capable than Reggie is.
So as soon as
Reggie is the hapless hero.
it's like this split second scene that Rocky takes a swing at the bandit, smacks Reggie, knocks him back out, and doesn't even blink. She's just like, well, that happened.
Yeah.
So it's just funny.
The three of them work really well as like this ragtag team that like forms. And I think this does a better job than 2 did. 2 is a road trip movie. 3 is also a road trip movie. But 3, the reason the pacing's better is we're building our team as we're going. So every time they stop, it feels like it serves more of a purpose. 2, it was just Mike and Reggie. And at a certain point, it just feels aimless.
Yeah.
So I agree with that criticism you had with 2.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah, please.
Do you think 3 and then subsequently the rest of the franchise would have been better if we had left Mike and Jody out? Like, do you think our core characters now should have been Reggie?
Yes.
Tim,
I think this should have just been the franchise. Yeah. And we're going to get to that when we get to the ending here in a second. I got a big problem with that. The only thing I don't like about Rocky, and this is maybe a problem with Reggie's endearing. I like Reggie. Reggie's great. But, because he's the womanizer, he keeps trying to sleep with Rocky. Some of that works for me, and then some of it becomes a little cringe. Like, there's some funny moments with it where he keeps trying to throw it at Rocky.
Yeah, they say the best way to keep warm is to pack 2 bodies to a bag.
Dream on, Reg.
Like at one point she's like, okay, fine. And then she handcuffs him and then she just goes to bed. And then he's like, oh, what the fuck? So then he's just handcuffed. But it's a little...
Yeah.
I think they needed to tone that down just a little bit.
Yeah.
He comes across a little too much like horn dog and...
Yeah. I think because these movies never go full comedy, it makes that stand out in an awkward sense, right? I mean, this movie doesn't become Porky's, right? It doesn't become American Pie, but they're trying to bring an element of that into it, and I don't really think it works. Would you have preferred that they had just left that character element out of the franchise altogether?
Which character element?
Like him just trying to... I think what they're trying to show is that he's kind of a lovable loser, and that one of the ways that he does that is he tries to have these intimate, contacts with women, and he never quite gets it right. But I think they just don't execute that properly, and he comes across as more of a creep than maybe what I think they're intending him to be.
Right.
I think there's a better way to do that. They just didn't do it right. And I'm with you on that. Yeah. Yeah,
I think Tim and Rocky work really well as they see in each other like that they're both survivors. Like they're both survivors of the tall man. And I think that bonds them together. And then you kind of got the hapless Reggie who balances them out. And they just make this cute little crew, and you're right. I think when Mike and Jody show up again and then Mike and Jody become the leads again, it's just like, I think the franchise is worse off for it.
Yeah.
I think you had better characters here, and it's unfortunate because like right at the end of the movie, Rocky just leaves.
Yeah.
Rocky leaves. She doesn't come back. It's like, oh, that sucks. It's like, you built that character up. You endeared her to us. We liked her.
Yeah.
You guys all had good chemistry. They're fun scenes, and then it just doesn't happen. Yeah.
I mean, you kind of say the same about Tim too, right? Because I don't think we see him again.
Well, that spoils it. But yes, Tim gets in the end, Tim gets grabbed by the lurkers and is never seen again in the entire franchise.
Yeah.
What a waste. It's a terrible decision. Yeah. Terrible decision. Let's talk about some interesting things in this movie. Some of it I like, some of it I'm kind of whatever. We got a bunch of new lore. It turns out the dwarf minions, they're actually an army that the tall man's building to, I guess, conquer the earth.
Yeah.
That's the way I interpreted it.
That's why he keeps going around to collect more.
He wants all the dead bodies.
Yeah.
He's building an army.
Yeah.
That's a bit different than the explanation for part 1, where it's like, oh, they use them as slaves on their homeworld. And then now it's like, no, he's building an army. He's building like a fleet of, I don't know. How'd you feel about that?
Again, the whole idea of any explanation as to who these characters are is going to be disappointing to me because I don't want to know anything about them. The idea that they exist, but they don't. Again, the first movie doesn't really tell you much of anything, and I wish they had left it with that. So, the fact that
I like they were used as slaves on the homeworld more than the army.
I mean, you can almost say they're the same thing, though, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
They're minions.
He's making them into his
minion army. Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
They also get names as you
lurkers.
There's
lurkers
lurkers now. This is also the movie I think that names the Sentinel series.
Yeah, I can't remember when they name them, but you're right. They do name them at some point. They call the spheres the Sentinels, but often they just still say flying. They're like chrome thing, and this was the thing I thought was weird. The minions, the lurkers' brains are removed, and the brains are in the Sentinels.
Yeah.
So those are actually the minions, the spheres.
Yeah.
The spheres are actually controlled by them, which might explain why they're pretty stupid. That gives some explanation. The spheres also change in this one quite a bit. So they got the middle mini brains. They opened up. I didn't expect that they would open.
Yeah.
The one has like an eyeball that like pokes out.
That's the one that goes around and does reconnaissance for.
There's like an eyeball one.
Yep.
Jody is a sphere.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, that was a.
What is that? I've watched all these movies. I still don't know what the fuck was going on with Jody. I can't explain that. Because remember, canonically, Jody's dead.
Yeah.
That's the canon thing. Is Jody died in a car crash. So my interpretation was Jody's body was harvested by the tall man and then turned into a sphere. So that means I guess somewhere there's a lurker body that looks like Jody.
Yeah.
Because they do separate the two. Yeah.
I think outside of the movie, Coscarelli wanted a chance to bring him back, but the fact that he had already killed him limited his ability to do that. So he's like, okay, I'll make him a sphere,
I guess. He's kind of like a force ghost.
He's also kind of a deus ex machina. Like he guides them when they need help with something, which he's kind of the easy answer. It's like so many of the franchises that we've seen. They just stumble upon the answers. The Howling had this, or Children of the Corn. They'll find some sacred text that just seems to explain everything that they need to know. Well, he kind of does the same thing, right? They need to know where to go. They need guidance. The ghost sphere of Jody just kind of tells them everything they need to know exactly when they need it. A little convenient, and you know how I dislike convenience in these movies, but yeah.
How did you feel about whatever the fuck was going on with the tall man and Mike? Some of it I like, but it's very, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, we're starting to see that Mike is more important than he's taking on a level of importance that.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I like that in part 2 that Mike and Reggie were just afterthoughts to the tall man.
Yeah.
But in this one, it's just like, I have grand designs for you, boy.
Not everybody has to have some great purpose.
Right.
Right.
And I feel like the reason they did that is because Coscarelli wanted this to be the Mike, Reggie, and Jody show.
Yeah.
And that's what it turns into.
You can't lead into some magnum opus if your characters don't have some great importance that links them together. I'm with you though. I thought I liked in the first one, they just happened to be characters that stumbled upon this thing happening and were trying to get in the way of it, right? And it also adds to the risk level because if the tall man had his way, he'd just eliminate them, right? But now you get the sense that he kind of can't do that. So every time he interacts with Mike, like there are points where he's going to start saving his life, right? Why would he do that? So yeah, I don't like that. I wish they had kind of.
I don't like the whole grand design thing.
Yeah.
I do. There is something kind of neat here, though. So the tall man is actually trying to tempt Mike over to his side.
Yeah.
Let me release you from this imperfect flesh that ties you to time and space. All that is unknown will be known to you once more.
He's basically like offering knowledge beyond any human comprehend, like behind anything a human could ever can think of, right? Like he wants to show you infinity, and that's very tempting.
He wants to turn you into a Cenobite.
Yeah, in a sense, in a way, yeah. I like that idea. I just don't like that it's Mike.
Yeah,
because I agree with you. It's like, no, Mike was just some kid.
Yeah. Like
trying to make Mike the great antagonist.
He's not the one.
Like, right? It's just that's kind of stupid. So I guess the tall man has been slowly turning Mike into something, because at one point Mike realizes his blood is yellow, just like the tall man.
Yeah.
So I guess he is like I started referring to him as the pseudo tall man.
Well, and again,
he's like a pseudo. Like he's like a quasi, like he has some things of the Tom, and the next one's about to get into it. But
this is where the third movie reintroduces elements that are unexplainable, similar to the first one, right? Where the second movie was very cut and dry, everything kind of made sense. They circle back and make the third one a little bit less explainable, and that's why it's the blending of a bit from the first one, a bit from the second one to make kind of a more perfected third, right?
I hate the ending. I don't think the ending of part 2 I liked, just because I like that it's like, no, fuck you, it's not a dream.
Yeah.
This actually happened, you know? This one, we're going back to the cliffhanger ending, and it's still vague. So like, after Mike finds out, he's like, oh, there's something weird with me, man. He just like runs off, and then Reggie chases after him, but then Ghost Jody shows up and is like, don't worry, Reg. Give him his space. We'll be in touch.
Jody, hey, wait. What the hell's happening here?
Reg, don't believe everything you see.
What the hell's that supposed to mean?
Seeing is easy. Understanding, well, takes a little more time. Be patient, Reg. We'll be in touch.
Yeah.
And then the two of them just like walk off into the sunset, which is probably the most infuriating thing ever, to just be like, Reggie's just like, Mike, what's going on, man? What's wrong? And then Jody's like, don't worry about it, man. Just be cool, man. just relax, man.
Yeah.
It's all fine. It's fine. We'll talk later.
It's not fine.
No, like what the fuck? It's like, okay, and just no resolution. And then they seemingly kill the tall man. I don't even remember. It's like something to do with that liquid nitrogen tank.
Yeah.
I don't quite remember. But
the
like,
gold
they freeze
sphere comes out of his head. Yeah.
Well, they freeze the gold sphere, but then it gets out of it. I don't quite remember, but like basically the tall man reforms again, just like he always does. Tim gets grabbed, and then it just Reggie gets like pinned with like all of these spheres.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts to credits and ends on a cliffhanger.
Yep.
It's a bad ending.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, they try.
What is it trying to set up?
They're trying to. I mean, this is a constant theme throughout these movies. They don't want to end them on anything definitive.
No.
Everything is. They always try to involve somebody getting pulled through glass. Right. Yeah. It's just.
I have one last thing I want to mention, just a little extra thing. There is a car flip in this that is one of the most impressive car flips I think you're ever going to see in a film. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. When
there's a little bit of there's a chase scene.
Yeah.
When like the zombie versions of the bandits are having like a chase with our main characters.
Yep.
There's a fucking car flip with a hearse.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, is that awesome?
Again, this movie had a $2.5 million budget, so there was still some money here, right? Maybe not as much as the second, but there was some room for effects.
Yeah. That was great.
Yep.
Yeah, that was good.
Yep.
Anything else you want to say about 3? I mean, it's my number one just because I think it's got does a better version of part 2 than part 2 does for me, and I think the the added, unlike Liz and Alchemy, which are underutilized, I think Tim and Rocky are used perfectly.
Yep.
So you got a better blending of characters, and the cool effects are still there, and it's still got the same tongue-in-cheek tone, and I just like it.
Last 2 points. I think the tall man is starting to talk too much.
A little bit.
And I think I would have preferred this franchise more if this one had been the sequel to the first one.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
This
is a better sequel.
They sort of blend a little bit.
Everyone gives 2 the credit as that's the one that kind of, it's like, oh, it's the action one. It's the Universal Studios one. Ooh, that's the one that, turned it all around. It's like, no, I think 3 is the one that did a better job of tonally shifting, but still feeling like it's not quite as jarring.
It's not a hard right.
Yeah, it's not quite as jarring. Yeah.
Yeah.
So